And welcome to another episode of PGA Tour 2K23. We're going to be jumping into creating greens and how to build greens for your course today. And if you like this content or find any of it helpful, please go ahead and smash that sub button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Let me have a look. That looks good. We'll have this one facing the water just so it looks a bit nice. It'll look nice at the end then. So I recommend when you are putting your hole down, I recommend you go into about 310, 320. Only because we'll go a bit further back than that. I only recommend that because with these powered archetypes and things, people are hitting the ball a lot longer than what they used to, so I'd put it at about 330, say. Be a nice point again. Let me try and find a green site now. There's one, but it's a bit out of the way, that. There's one. 545 yards, we don't really want to path. We can go here. That looks good. That looks good. 480. So we're going to put down our hole for this. So today we're talking greens. Let me just jump on this a minute. Go on the raise tool. Go on this little fuzzy brush. I'll talk you through these brushes anyway. I just want to roll that. Not a heck of amount. Tiny bit more, I guess. Tiny bit more. Look at it. Yeah. We'll take that. We'll take that. So today we're going to be talking greens and how to build your own greens on PGA Tour 2K23. So we've got a measurement tool there. This just shows you how far you want your hole and how long you want your hole. But also, what I do with this brush is, this is like my pen. So this is like a pen for me. Where do I see this green now? So I'll see it here. So what I'll do is I'll draw the green out. Don't matter how bumpy and lumpy it is for now, because we will go through that and sort that out by the end of this video, so don't worry too much about that. Yeah, that's not looking good, so we'll go again on that. We'll go again on that. Get rid of these markers. Get rid of these markers. Oh, I clicked on my waypoint. Get rid of these measurements, should I say markers, measurements, whatever you want to call them, really. Your choice, your choice. So we'll go. So I'm just looking over it now where I see a green shape taking place here. So we can go down here, I guess. Go down here. I'm running through this pretty fast because it is only a tutorial. Do we love it? I don't love it, no. I don't love it. But for this example, we'll run with it. We'll run with it. So now I've got that down. So what I'm going to do is click on green surface. No. Create surface, should I say. And then click on green. So we have all these funky little brushes. So if you want to build a green out of this, say if you wanted your green to be like this, you can use a brush if you want. You throw it down. There's your green there. There's a green. But we're not going to do that today. What we're going to do is use a spline tool. So this spline tool really helps. So just what I'm going to do is draw around the shape that I've just made. It doesn't have to be perfect. However you want it. It's your course, remember. So it doesn't have to be this shape. So we're just going to, and then when you get back to the end, I'm going to conjoin it. There's your green. Alright, it ain't the best looking green and it needs a lot of work. Don't get me wrong, it needs a lot of work. It's not nice. I don't even like it myself. But for this example, we will run with it because I'm just showing you how to lay down the green and the tools that are in this designer. So your green can be however you want it. It doesn't have to be the same as that. It's your course. You do it however you want. But what I will say is, what I always try to do is when I'm doing the spline, like I just done the spline round here, what I try to do is I try to make the green, I try and make it go round all the way round in 80 to 120 yards. So I'll show you another example. Get rid of these measurements again. Gives me pen, gives them measurements, delete that. So, get them back. So we'll get rid of this green now. Can't we get rid of it like that because I've made more than 10 moves. So we'll go on spline point, delete that, delete the spline. So I'll show you an example now. Create surface, green spline. So what I'd always try to do for the average green is I try to get it round, all the way round to the end in 80 to 120 yards. This one might be a bit bigger. No, it's 115, say, 116. So for this example, that's 116. I'd always try to get it all the way round in either 80 to 120. And that's only because that's a normal size for the green. For the average green, it's 120 to 80 yards all the way around. See, if you're doing a links course, then it's going to be a lot bigger than that because the greens on a links course are massive. So it depends what style of course you're doing, but on the normal courses, I'd recommend going around in 80 to 120 yards all the way around. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to click on one of these points, what you've just made, by going all the way around. So you've got spline handles and spline points. What you're going to do is try to click, well, what you are going to do is click on the spline points. We'll click on the spline point. And so once you're on the spline point, there's several different things you can do. So you can move the spline if you want to, well, so you can go on, if you want to move the point, you can move it down here, you can move however you want to move it, but we're not going to move it for this tutorial, just an example. So edit spline is where we need to go. Copy spline is just, so that'll be, say, this green again. And you can do a couple of different things with this. So you can make it longer, you can make it bigger. So say if we wanted that green again, if we like that green, we could just throw another one in there. But for this tutorial, we're not going to do that. So we go back to here, we go back to the spline handle, spline point. We want the spline point, remember. So you can delete it by clicking delete. You can delete this point, which I'll show you an example. It just deletes that point. You want it back, so we're going to click square, spline point again, delete spline, that'll delete the whole green. So we don't want to be clicking on that. This is why I didn't click it. So this is where the magic happens now for your green. This is where the magic happens. So we click on spline point, like I told you, spline point, edit spline. So green textures. So this is all different colour greens you can have. So if you want a darker colour green, your choice. Want a darker colour green, your choice. But I do like the lighter ones. We'll go with this one because that one's showing up really, really well. So we will go with this one for now. Number 8. It's your choice, like I say, if you want it darker, your choice. If you want it lighter, your choice. So we'll go on green spline again. No. Spline point, green spline point, edit spline, select surface. We don't want to mess about with the surface too much. Secondary surface, you do want to mess with it. So you can put a fairway around it if you want to, light rough, heavy rough, but you're not going to need the heavy rough because if you look, the heavy rough's already around it, so you definitely don't need that one really. Click back on, that's an handle, mate. We need the spline point. Click back on the spline point here, edit, secondary surface. If you want a car path around it, your choice. Doesn't seem to be showing up much. Mulch, if you want mulch around it, your choice. But what we're going to do today is light rough. Light rough is where we want. So here, where you can see it lighter than the green here, this is the fringe. So now we'll have a light rough running around our green, which is what we want. If you're having light rough on your course, if you don't have light rough on your course, then you're not going to want light rough really, are you? around your green, because there's no light rough on your course, so it doesn't make sense. So we'll go on green spline, edit again. So that's our secondary surface. So we can, and then when you go down to secondary width, it's on default is 28, but if you want to change this, your choice. If you want the light rough to be massive, see now it's all the way around now, the light rough, it's massive. I'd recommend having it where it defaults you, anywhere in and around that. So that was secondary surface, secondary width. It was on 28, so I'd go 30, it doesn't really matter. So if you want a little bit around it, we'll go with that. And then we've got the sharpen and smooth. This one's really important, and I moved it. But it's a good thing that I did, because I can show you properly what it does. A big example, like here. Here's a good example. So what we do is go on spline point again, edit spline, go on sharpen smooth. So you can sharpen spline or smooth spline, smooth corner. If you click on the smooth corner, it's only going to do round the corner where you clicked on the point. What we want is smooth spline. And if you have a look now, 1 minute, if you have a look, and I take you back round it now, you'll see how much neater it is now, because I just clicked on smoothed it out a bit. So that's what you want there. Find a point again if you ever can. Spline point, edit spline. So now we've done the sharpening smooth. That's really important, because it really makes a difference. So you can add a spline if you want to add a spline. You can split the spline. I said spine then. So you can unfill it. So that's a closed spline. That's your green without a green really though, isn't it? So you don't really want that. And then open, that'll just open where we've left it here. But if you wanted to, go and click spline, edit spline, you can join it back together like that. So you can join it together like that, close it again. So you can do that. We'll go back on that in a minute while I'll show you this example. We can go on edit, we can go on add a spline, you can add a spline. So if you want to make your fairway a little bit different, just add the spline like this. And then when you get back round, like that. It doesn't seem to be working. So you can add, so in other words, that's just adding more green onto your green. But we're not going to mess with that too much today. I'm just showing you the example of what it does. So now we want to go back down to shape state. We want it filled. Now our green's back again, remember. So that is how you use the splines. This is how you fill them in. So what I would say, the main thing about these spline points is when you click on the spline point, go on edit. So the main ones are the secondary surface, which is a light rough that will run you through. The width of the light rough that will run you through. Sharpen and smooth, really, really important, that one. Please don't forget to do that on your course. It makes a whole difference. So yeah, this is how we use our spline points. Let me get rid of these measurements because they really are in my way and they are annoying. So this is our green. It's just a very rough green. It's not special. I'm just showing you an example at this point of how to build a green. So now what we're going to do is we're going to jump over, because if you look at, let me get my measurement, look at all this round here, it's all these lump and bumps. It don't look good, does it? It looks awful, to be fair. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go on landscaping tools, which is this is one of the main tools on here. You don't want to mess with these ones too much. I'll show you in a later video how to create water, clear generated trees. We went over that a little bit in the last video. So we're going to go on landscaping tools. So you can go on landscape raise and landscape flatten. So if you want to use the landscape raise, I'll show you an example. Let me get this fuzzy brush out. This is the most important brush. So if you go on raise, say if I wanted to raise this, I don't know, 80 foot. Now that part of the fairway, that part of the course will be higher than that because I've just raised it effectively. If we cancel that, goes back to where it was. And flatten, you don't want to do this on big scales. Say if I wanted to flatten this part out, raise it up and flatten it. See how flatter it is now, a lot flatter than what it was. Whereas I'll show you an example now of it back the way it was. Look at all the lumps and bumps back there. So when we're using this landscape flatten, we don't want to be going, I'll show you an example. We don't want to go like this and go, right, I want to flatten this part. Now, half of your course flat, you don't want flat course unless you're doing that style of course, so you don't want that. Whereas if you do want to raise a certain part of your course, go on the landscape raise, like I just did, raise it up. That's higher than this part of the course because I've just raised that. So now if we get our measurement tool out and we go from here to there, it's going to be higher than what it is over there. 30 foot down, 35 feet down, 43 down, 12 down, 12 down, 32. So that is how you use the landscape raise and the landscape flatten. There's a lot more to these. There's a lot more to them, these tools. But for this example, we're just going to do mini edits to the course. Couldn't even get my words out then, by the way. So now, when we go back to our green, this is our landscape flatten. So this is the one we want. Don't have it too big, I'll just have it a bit small. And you see around the edges where it's really rough, I just go around the edges like this. Make the brush a little bit bigger. And now what I'm doing effectively is flattening it out. And all that flattened doing, now, look at it, it's coming into place now. See where the rough part's going away? The kind of dirty marks. Make it a little bit bigger. Just go round again, just flattening it. I feel like this part's a lot higher than the other part, so what I'll do here, just drop it down, maybe a couple of feet, 1 foot, go back on it. I really mess that up. Yeah, so, but you get the idea, right? So this part here now, so what we're going to do now is flatten the green, so we'll go on landscape flatten, and this brush is called the fuzzy brush. This one, it's on page 4 and it's the first one on page 4. This is the brush we're going to be using for 99% of our course. This is the main brush. This is the brush that effectively does most of your landscaping on it all. So this brush is mega important, people. Can't understate how important this brush is. So we're just going to make it small enough. Now, if you can see the green, see how bad the green is, like how slope is that? How slope is that on that side? It's just too much slopes. You couldn't even put a ball on that. What we're going to do is go on the landscape flatten, and we're just going to flatten it. We're just going to flatten it a bit. So by doing this, what I'm doing is I'm just pushing the slopes off it. So I'm starting at the bottom here, go a bit bigger. And then effectively all I'm doing is pushing the slope off it, and you'll see in a minute the difference that it makes. You will see it in 2 minutes. So just hover it, click on it like that. See how flatter that is now compared to this side? That's because I've just flattened it out with a flatten tool. So now we're starting to get a bit of a green there. So now with the flagstick, if I put my flagstick over there, it's puttable. You can play on it. Whereas if you put it here where the orange slopes are, I'll show you an example, but play from here. Watch this for the putt now. Watch how difficult. Look, how are you ever going to pull up that? You know, like you can. If you want to make a real hard course, then do it. But realistically, how are you ever going to pull up that? I'll give it a go, but don't like the chances of it going in. But it's just going to come straight back down to where you was. And to be honest, that's pretty unfair. If you're doing that to people, it's not really fair, is it? Unless you're doing an impossible challenge or an impossible course. If you want to do an impossible challenge or an impossible course, that's your choice. But look at that, it's just going to keep coming right back to my feet. just going to keep coming back and coming back and coming back, and it's going to do that effectively until you're out to put. So on an average course, I don't see how that's fair, to be honest. I really don't. Have you held it that time? Nearly. But no matter what, either way, it's going to keep coming back to my feet and back to my feet. We'll even play it now where I try keeping it up there. I'll hit it that hard, I'll try and keep it up there. I've hit it that hard, I'm trying to keep it up there, but I reckon it'll still come back down. Has it stopped? No, it thought about it, but yeah. So effectively that's a little unfair. That is a little unfair. And I'll show you another example now, so get off this a minute. Go on, exit home. So I do feel like that's a little unfair unless you're doing like a really impossible challenge course. So go on this a minute. I'll show you how to do this in a minute. Move, hold one, move it. I'll show you how to do all this in a minute anyway. Whereas if we put the ball there and we put him from here, play from here. This is a bit flat. I'll show you how to put undulation breaks into it and all that. But if I play this now and say I miss, a bit like that, but might go in. So say if I miss from there, see how the ball stops now? You know, it's a lot more fairer flattening it out than what it would be leaving it on that slope like it was. That was an eagle, by the way, because I played from the green now. So yeah, that is more fair than that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the flatten tool again. Landscape tool, landscape flatten. Go back on our little fuzzy brush. There's two ways of doing this as well. This ain't the only way. I'll show you another example. So we'll go back off that. Oh, no, we won't go back off that. What am I doing? Landscape flatten. So we could just get the shape. This is... You can do it like this. Your choice. Your choice. Really? That's really not that shape. What shape's that? That's about right. So you could just go over it like this. I prefer not to. But you can just do it like this if you want. Press X. Now it's flat. So you can just go over it like that and do it like that. And then you get a flat green anyway. And then you can work out how you want your undulations. You can do that. It looks really nice like that. I think I like that. I do like it. But for this tutorial, I am going to show you how to flatten it out with a fuzzy brush. Your choice, like I say. It's always your choice, these courses. So we're just going to work our way up. Work our way up. Just trying to get rid of these orange slopes. Work our way up again. Work our way up. Work our way up. Because these slopes are unfair. So we'll just work our way up. Work our way up with a fuzzy brush. With a fuzzy brush. Bang. Now that should be a lot flatter than what... See now I've flattened it out. It's a lot more fair now than what it was. Still a bit iffy, some of these orange lines. But we'll go again on that. See how it's a lot fairer now than what it was 5 minutes ago. It just makes all the difference. So we'll move our way back up here. Give that another flatten. Give this side a little flatten as well. So we're just kind of what you're doing is just pushing the slopes off the green, I feel like. So here now is a bit iffy as it is. So we'll just go again here, like just like that, pushing the slopes off the green, pushing the slopes off the green. That's what I call it. And now, if you can see, the lines are coming back a lot more now from side on. So we just give it a few flattens, give it a few flattens, just like that. And then in the end, eventually, you're going to get a flat green. So now, what I do, say this part's quite flat. So I'll show you an example now. So for making slopes on your green, which is what we want now, slope, I'd go on the landscape raise. But please, whatever you do, don't do this. Oh right, we'll raise that part, we'll go up 7 foot 1 inch, go like that. Look at your green, look what you've just done to your green, right? It's just never going to work if you do it like that. Never going to work. So we'll go back to our magic fuzzy brush. Make it really small for this side anyway. So now what you want to do, say if you just a couple of inches, just a couple of inches if you want a bit of undulation, just a couple of inches. See now that's making the break now See, now that's more of an uphill putt than what it was. Whereas if we wanted a downhill putt, we just go down 5, tiny bit. Now, eventually, now it's still an uphill putt, but if you wanted a downhill putt, what you'd do is you go to the fuzzy brush again. Make sure you use the fuzzy brush. We go down, just lower in this part, tiny bit, 2 inches. 2 inches is all it needs. Literally 2 inches. Go like that. Now you should have a downhill putt. Now it's still an uphill putt for some reason. Right. So if that happens to you, what you do then is you just up this up tiny bit. Nothing major. No major movements. Now, see how it's becoming a downhill putt now. Oh, that's still uphill for some reason. So we'll go back on it. It is hard, this, right, I'm not lying. So what we'll do, if you can't get it right, just lower this part here behind it. Lower that part behind it. Eventually, see now you've got a downhill putt. See where it's downhill now, downhill. So now it's up and down, so this part's up, that part's down. But in order to sort that out, what I'll do is just raise that up. And eventually you will get a downhill putt or an uphill putt, whichever one you want. So now for this example, what I'll do is I'll flatten the green out, like I did before with this brush. Just for this example mainly. Turn that around. Try and get it somewhere like it. Make sure it's all in the blue circle as well. Click that. So that's now flat. So now, from a very flat hole, every foot on this now is going to be flat, this green. So now, you can use line, raise or flatten, your choice. What we're going to do is we're going to make it insulation on the green. So you can just don't go on the green and do that like I told you before. Just go around the edges. Just round the edges. Just round the edges. Just round the edges. Just round the edges. Eventually what we're going to get is uphill putt. From down here it's going to be up the hill. It's going to be up the hill. That effectively is what we're doing. So we'll go back to our fuzzy brush. Make it a little bit bigger. Just not on the green. Make sure you don't touch the green. Just in and around the green like this. If you want an uphill putt, eventually what you're going to get is an uphill putt. Them slopes are now not fair. Them are in slope. But it is a good way to have it all funneling to the left. So if you want to put funneling to your left, and that's how to do it. So now we'll click back on the landscape raise. So for example, say if I wanted a flagstick here somewhere, what I'll do is flip it tiny bit. I'm going to get an uphill putt. See how the slopes are now coming at me? That means effectively what you've just done is made an uphill putt. So now we'll move on to the next. So that is how you sculpt your greens in order to make them have break, have uphill putt. So now we've got an uphill putt there. So if I had a flag there to there and I would put in here, watch, it will be up the hill. It will be up the hill. So now we've got an uphill putt. Or if you had the ball from here, you're going to have a downhill putt, aren't you? You know what I mean? So effectively that is how you make it. So now what I'm going to do is move on from the landscaping tools, and I'm going to show you what we can do with the pins. So now we've got hole 1 pin 1. So we'll click on hole 1 pin 1. We'll go add pin because I want number 2. So we'll have, say if we wanted to put from here and hole there, we'll throw one there. And then the third hole, say we want it tucked in in the middle. No, just in the middle there. So there's 1, 2, 3 holes, and then the last one. I don't know, where do you want it? Have it here, bottom right. So then that'll be your 4th hole. and that's how you get 4 flag sticks, and that's how many you need for these 4 holes. So now we'll go back on the landscape tool, go on the landscape raise, go on this fuzzy brush. Like I say, this fuzzy brush is more important than any brush on the hole designer. And then if we want break here, oh, it went down a lot then. So we'll just go down tiny bit, tiny bit, tiny little bit like that. See, now it's putting break onto the putt. Now that we've got a little breaking putt. And what I'll do as well, go behind the hole, to up it, tiny bit. Just tiny little mini movements. And eventually you will get breaking putts. Right, this has now become an interesting hole because now it's down. What the flag there is downhill to it, and the flag here is uphill to it. So it's just mini little adjustments on the green. Don't go, oh yeah, that'll work. Right, that's just the daftest thing you can do pretty much. So just mini adjustment. So I want it to be breaking in from this side now. So see, when it is 9 inches up, I'm not on the green, I'm going round the green effectively. So now we've got to put here, breaking in left, right. So this flag stick here, so we can already see that it's downhill a little bit from there. So what I'll do, if this is how I wanted it, is I just go on this, make it tiny, give it a little swirl, then. And effectively what we're getting there now is a downhill putt. So there's your downhill putt. What putt have we got here? We've got an uphill putt here. Over there, we'll move this one because that's just unplayable pretty much. So what we'll do is we'll go back on our cursor, go on hole 1, pin 1, move the pin, and we'll move it to say, I don't know, say there. And we'll make this hole 1-1, we'll make this one really interesting for the approach shot, because there's not much to this green at the minute. So go on the landscape raise, go on our little fuzzy brush, our little mate, and then just round the edges. Don't go on the green because it's 1 foot 8 inches up. Don't go on the green, round the edges. See, now it's all funneling to the left now towards my flag. See, now it's all funneling. That's how you want it. That is how I want this one to work out, this whole one. So go back on our fuzzy brush. And now we're on the green doing it. Just mini amounts. Because we're on the green. If we're off the green here, do it as high as you want, unless it's stupid high like that, 15 feet. You don't want to be doing that, but anywhere under 5 foot from there, bang. See how it works. See how we're making this logo more left now, all funneling towards the right flag. So if I had an approach shot from her side, we'll play it from here. I'm just showing you an example really. I play from here. Pardon me. So play from here. See now the slopes are coming down to the left. So now from here it'd be rather interesting because it might be too far there. But if I hit it onto this slope now, guess where that's going? Right towards my hole. So that's a bit more interesting. That's a good way to do it, because then on hole 1 now, if you're playing from there, you've got choices. Oh my days, I miss that. So from there, you've got choices then, ain't you? You know what I mean? And that's the main thing about that, choices. So that's how you create that. But I'm still not happy with pin 1 because look how flat it is when it gets to here. So what we'll do is we'll jump back into the landscape tool, landscape raise. And because it's all funneling to the right, you don't want to put coming from this way, do you really? So what I'll do is a couple of feet up here, a couple of feet up there. And then effectively what you're going to get is a putt that's breaking left to right, right to left, sorry. And then right to left one there, but on this one here, that's right to left as well, come off it. See this one here actually, sorry, but not much to this one, so we'll go back on it. Go on our raise tool. This fuzzy brush, that's our best friend at this point because we're using it that much. And then tap it up, tap it up. Minimal adjustments, minimal. What's around here? Because it's not breaking at all, that is it? So, get rid of that one, get rid of that one. So it's breaking a bit, and now it's breaking a little bit. Only a tiny bit. This one's breaking quite a bit. So it's your choice how much you have it breaking and how much you don't have it breaking. I'm just showing you an example of how I do it. And that is how I do it. And this is where I am going to end this video today. And yeah, so we've created our green. I've shown you how to do your plastic. We jumped into a little bit of landscaping. There'll be a lot more on landscaping in the near future. Am I happy with this green? It's growing on me. It's growing on me. Am I happy with the brakes? Not too much, but that's minor adjustments I will make at the end. So, the next video we're going to be creating our fairway. Let me see if can I see it. So what I'll be doing anyway in the next video and the video after that is creating our fairway. So what I'll do is, let's drop that down a little bit so we can see a bit more. That's still not perfect, but we'll go through that when we're doing our tee deck anyway. But yeah, if you like this content and it does help, if any of this content helps you, please go ahead and smash that sub button for me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.